Shalom everyone, all praise to the Most Yahuah Yahuah and unto our Adon and Savior Yahushua Hamashiach. This is your boy, your friend, your brother, Friendship West African Yashra. Today's topic, lesson, investigation is going to be about scattered to the fourth corners of the earth. So, we'll be talking about the fact and the evidence that we have to confirm and prove that the so-called Negroes are the real people of the Most High, the real Israelites, due to history and prophecies. Yes, you heard me. We can prove it that way. So let's see what Scripture says, let's see what history says, and let's come to a conclusion, whoever you are watching this. So, before we start anything, we're gonna go check some history. Y'all know me. For those who don't know me, I always like to go back to the history, which is the Torah. Yeah? Or Tanakh, or whatever you want to call it, or Old Testament. But I always go back to the history. Yeah? Because I'm not gonna just make some claims or make some affirmations or stuff like that, and I don't get it from anywhere. I don't get it from a source. So let's check this manner right now. Yeah, so we want Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 23 through 27. Devarim chapter 4 verse 23 through 27. Take heed unto yourselves, lest you forget the covenant of Yahuah Yahuah, which he had made with you, and make you graven images, or the likeness of anything which Yahuah thy Yahuah have forbidden thee. So the Most High is clear when he said don't do something and then you're going to do it, then you're going to face the consequences. Check this out. Verse 24 now. For Yahuah Yahuah is a consuming fire, even a jealous Yahuah. So the Most High is jealous over his people. Yeah, if not over his whole creation. But let's continue. 25. When thou shalt beget children, and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahuah Yahuah, to provoke him to anger. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from of the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Yet shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. 47 now. And Yahuah shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither Yahuah shall lead you. 1. So all of this stuff, that's Yahuah. Yeah? So all of the bad things that's happening, yeah? Because we actually talking about the Israelite right now. Deuteronomy is the book, he's talking about the Israelite. Literally. So all of this bad stuff that's supposed to happen to the Israelite if they're not listening, yeah? If they're disobeying the Most High and doing the things that they were told to not do, all of these things happen because the Most High wants that. Okay, we understand that. Yeah? Now, there's one thing that is mentioned. Is that they're going to be taken out of the land. And at the end, we hear that they're going to be scattered among the nations. The heathens. Yeah? This is important for us to understand. The Israelite, the punishment that they're getting all the time, and this is consistent throughout the whole script. The punishment that they're getting all the time, or every time, is them being scattered other places than where they live. Make sense? So if we're going to say that we believe in the script, then we're supposed to be consistent with what the Most High says. Yeah? But all of a sudden, When a group of people say, hey, we've been scattered like for a long time now, yeah, everybody's pissed off. Yeah, when the so-called Negros saying, well, we're the Israelites because it's been like over 500 years now, we've been scattered all around the world, you know what I'm saying, due to slavery. People looking at them like they're crazy. But yet, y'all say you believe in the scriptures. Y'all say you believe in God. But I believe not. One, I don't believe nothing. And two, yeah, this time I'm going to believe. I don't believe that you believe in God. Because you should be consistent with his word. Yeah? Funny thing. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We want some more. We want Deuteronomy 28. So all you black Hebrew Israelites must know that by heart. Some of y'all don't even read the Torah, but you know Deuteronomy 28, which is extremely idiot. Yes, I said it. Anyway, Deuteronomy 28 chapter 28. Yeah, we want verse 63 and 64. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 63 and 64. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither that goes to possess it. So that's another thing again and again. It's consistent. The Israelites, due to the fact that they made a covenant with the Most High, that they were going to do the law or whatever, and that the Most High made a covenant with their father, Abraham, and all that stuff, that they're going to get that land. Yeah. So if they disrespect the covenant altogether, then the land is taken away from them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's the actual covenant. The law and the land. Yeah. But it's only if they respect their part of the covenant as well. Yeah. I hope I'm not too confusing for y'all. Yeah, because I can't go back to the whole story of Genesis and all that stuff. I don't have time. Yeah, it's a short documentary right now. Yeah. So, second time that we're seeing the consistency that the Israelites are supposed to be taken out of the land if they're messing around with the Most High. Literally. Yeah. Verse 64 now. And Yahuwah shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other Elohim, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. I don't even want to get into the whole thing wood and stone. We're just gonna keep it clean. Yeah, for now, because everybody ain't supposed to know wood and stone will be the cross. Yeah, and stone will be over there with the Edomites in Arabia. Yeah, yes, I said it, because white people are not the Edomite. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to concentrate again on this scattered thing. So it seems that the Most High is consistent, and he's saying again and again that you mess around, you're going to be scattered out of the land. Yeah, this is consistent throughout the script. Every time the Israelites did something wrong, according to what the script says, then their enemy comes to the land, take them away from the land to another land. That's consistent. Babylon captivity, Assyrian captivity, and all the other ones, and with the Philistines and with Ammon and all of this stuff that happened or whatever. But all of the time, enemies come. It's either they take them away or they enslave them. Either way, something is happening to them. Yeah, and the Most High is warning them all the time. And he been since Torah right there that we're reading. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, we're going to concentrate on this scattered stuff. Because we were told that they're going to be scattered among all the people. Throughout the scriptures, there have not been one time in the scriptures where the Israelites are scattered throughout all the people. And we're talking about from one end on the earth, even unto the other. Yeah? Right there. This, to me, seems to be, and not even to me, but as far as I can read, it seems to be an end-time prophecy. Prophecies, some of them don't happen just once. they carried on. You can see throughout the scriptures. Yeah? But this right here is an accomplishment of things. So this means that in the final, this is what's going to happen. That the Israelites be scattered among all the people. And once again, you cannot find the script that says that the Israelites were among all the people from one end of the earth all the way to the other. This is not in your script. So now, this was the question. This raised the question. Where are the Israelites? Because scripture says that literally at the end time, these people will be scattered. The Israelites. And they're on one end of the earth to the other. Let's keep it moving. We want more understanding. We want Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 15. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I shall scatter them among the nations and disperse them in the countries. Here we go. The Most High is consistent. So that's his actual stamp. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's his watermark right there. Yeah. You scatter them on the countries. That's why he does. Because he says, nah, they're going to know it's me. Because you're going to be scattered among the countries. Yeah. That's my signature right there. That's what he's saying basically. Let's keep it moving. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 16. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known. But all of a sudden, you're saying that white people are the Edomites. You scattered among the white people, they're the Edomites, but the Edomites, the fathers knew them. They're your brothers. Esau is Jacob's brother. So if this saying that our fathers did not know them, how can white people be the Edomite? But anyway, I have a full lesson on that. Just check down my page, please. Either way, let me continue. And I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. Yeah? So once again, the Most High is consistent. Yeah? Throughout the scriptures, the Israelites have been sent to people that they knew most times. A few times there were people that they did not know. And the Babylonians, because Babylon basically is a hybrid kingdom that sprung out of nowhere basically. Yeah. And then you should want to count the Greeks. Well, the Romans. Yeah, this is consistent with the scripture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But otherwise, the other stuff that happened, the other wars and all that, these were people that they knew. But it's just to make you understand that some prophecies is not happening only once. It's happening all throughout, you know, time in history. Yeah? Okay. Let's go back to the rhyming. Let's go back to the Torah again. So, we want some more explanations. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Yahuwah shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over you, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So once again, it's repeating. Yeah, he's repeating. Because he's consistent. Yahuwah is not some sort of guy that just says something and it's not happening. He's the creator of all things. So when he says one thing, it's going to happen. And it repeats itself. So you're not going to say, oh, I didn't know. Because it's everywhere. It's clear instructions. Yeah. So for those of y'all that don't believe in the script, or either other way that don't believe that the so-called Negros are the Israelite, then you're going to have to explain some stuff. And you continue. Yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 49 through 50. Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth. So you was going to be sent at the end of the earth. Why? Because these people come from the end of the earth. As swift as the eagle flieth, So once again, as swift as the eagle flieth. This is saying that these nations are going to have eagles on their flags. But anyway, let me continue. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. This can never be the Edomite, because you understood the Edomite properly. Yeah? Throughout history, according to the script, you spoke a lot with the Edomite. But anyway, I'm not going to entertain people's nonsense. Verse 15 now. A nation of fair countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Interesting. That sounds a lot like what happened to a lot of people. Auction blocks, families separated and all that stuff. We can digress the whole day about it. But today, we're going to focus on these four corners things. And I'm going to show you, if you stay tuned, I'm going to show you the validity of the scriptures. 1. The historicity of the scriptures. 2. And the truth about who the real Israelites are. That's what's up. Let's keep it moving. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 now. The famous verse that people hate or people love. Yeah? And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Mizraim again with ships. Yeah? By the way, whereof I spake unto you, thou shalt see it no more again. And there it shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And if you take the Hebrew, yeah, most times it says, when it says buy you, it's redeem. Yeah. So there's another thing that we need to take into consideration, that you are told that you're going to go to Egypt again with ships. The land of Israel is attached to Egypt. That's how we know that this is all at Africa. Yeah. 1. 2. Yeah. Regardless the fact that once in history Josephus said that the Israelites went on ships to Egypt, yeah, that does not disprove that this could be talking about the black people and slavery. Yes, I said it. Because throughout the scriptures, the Israelites went into many slavery. Yeah. So that does not change the historicity, the validity of that scripture right there. Because Egypt is used as the land of bondage many times in scriptures. So that does not transform these scriptures into something that happened once and then it's finished. And y'all know that. So I don't know why people use as an argument, oh no, you black people are being sent to slavery in ships, but that does not mean that the Israelites. Deuteronomy 28 does not actually say that that Israelite. Look, the Israelites went into Egypt with ships before. So what? How does that change? Anyway, so let's end this. Yeah. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, and we want verse 45 to 46. Moreover, all this curse shall come upon you, and shall pursue you, and overtake you, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahuwah your Lord, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. That's why all these things will come upon you. Now check this out. Verse 46 now. And they shall be upon you for a sign, and for wonder, or a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses, this stuff of the Israelite being scattered among nations and all that stuff, this is going to be a sign on them. So what? So when you're going to see that happen to a certain group of people, then you're going to know that the Israelite. So all of a sudden, when we are saying that we're the Israelite because we've been scattered through slavery and all that stuff, yeah, and everybody had a piece of us, Now people looking at us like we're crazy. But your scriptures that you say you believe in, this is what it says. I'm baffled by the hypocritical way of thinking that people have. And I think it's just because of hate and racism. This is all. You've been cultivating this racism stuff. Yeah? Because a lot of you white Christians, you believe in the script. But when I'm showing this to you, you're like, no, black people are not the Israelite. You don't need to be the Israelite. Well, that's what it sounds like. Because Yah will defend the scriptures and say, oh yeah, you can see the prophecy coming to fulfillment. Look, Jesus said the temple is going to be destroyed, and then eventually the temple was destroyed. So now the Most High said, well, this stuff of scattering and all that stuff there, that's a sign on the Israelite. Then there's a group of people that fit the description and they say, no, they're not Israelite. Hypocrites. That's what it is. Yeah? Everybody's biased. I understand. But at least be consistent with what you're saying, y'all. So, now that we understand why the Israelites are being scattered. Yeah? Because they disobey. Now, also, we understand that this story of being scattered is a sign, yeah, from the Most High. So you're gonna know when somebody is scattered among all the nations, when a certain group of people is scattered among the nations, these are the Israelites. So with that being said, yeah, let me give you the historical and concrete evidence of the Israelite, the real Israelite, the so-called Negro, yeah, being scattered among all people from one end on the earth even unto the other, just as the Most High said it. Before we go any further, yeah, let's see what the word was saying in Hebrew, yeah, just for confirmation, because some people might say, well, it says the end of the earth, and then this side or this point is not really the end, this and that. Let's see. Yeah. So Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 64. Boom. You got the Hebrew right there. Yeah. Right there. Boom. Ends. Yeah. Kasesh. Katsesh, yeah. And extremity. Yeah. Extremity. That's what's up. Yeah. So here we go. We know now the extremities of the earth. Yeah. A point that is far. That's what it means, literally. Here we go. So, we'll start with the first end. Portugal right there. Yeah. That's one end compared to where the land is. That's way, way far. That's one end, Europe. So just to show you that I'm not making things up and I'm not making things out of thin air, we're gonna go to some historical facts. Yeah, so we go on the slave trade by YAH Thomas, page 64 of that book that I recommend for a lot of people, especially if you want the truth or you need this truth. Page 64. African slaves began to perform many functions in Portugal. They became ferrymen in Lisbon and other cities, or were hired out for heavy physical labor as Stevens doors or builders in hospitals and in monasteries. Yeah, we're gonna jump down right here. Slaves were sometimes also employed as interpreters in Lisbon on ships going to Africa. In theory, at least, when one of these slaves secure for slave for his owner, it would be given his freedom. So, confirmation that it's been a traffic, or there's been a travel made by so-called Africans, or should I say so-called Negroes, or should I say real Israelite, to Portugal, Europe. Yeah? We can continue the same book. We want more information. Page 119. Right here. There were naturally more African slaves in Portugal than in any other European country. In 1539, 12,000 black slaves were sold in Lisbon alone, many of them admittedly to be exported later to Spain. In 1550, Lisbon boasted 10,000 resident slaves in a population of 100,000, and Portugal as a whole probably had over 40,000 slaves, basically. Yeah? Let's read more. In 1535, Clenard wrote in a voter, as if he had been carried off to the city in hell. Everywhere are only meet blacks. And we quote. Here we go. So that's one end of the earth, right?
Lisbon has its charms, its many hills, food, beer, art, beautiful people, and an African history. Hundreds of years ago, in this very city, on these very waters, African slaves were first brought to Europe.
The ships were mooring, and from the ships they were taking the enslaved and sending them to the house of slave about 2 minutes away from here.
This is Naki. He runs the African Lisbon tour and experienced the traces the steps of African slaves in the coastal city.
I want to talk about this topic because it's something people don't like to talk about.
Back to the harbor. It's the first stop made by tourists joining Naki's tour. And from here,
and we're not far from the house of slave. Also, the slave markets. We try to show to people where the slave market back in the days were.
Not all stops on the tour are as heavy as the first few. There's sampling, some African food, drinks, and guided exploration of this neighborhood.
This is the neighborhood called Rocio, or if you want, Largo de São Domingo. Cabo Verde is the country that is more represented here. Guinea, Mozambique, you can have Angola.
Rocio is a predominantly African community centered around a historic church.
Then, for this second part, we're talking about North America. Yeah? South Carolina, where basically all the slaves were taken when they were going to the USA. Then, we'll be talking about South America as well, and Brazil predominantly, which is also one extremity or end of the earth. Yeah? So, we're going to start, with another historical evidence for North American slavery. Black slave Indian master, And we read on page 28. Family ties and trade connection in other port cities such as New Orleans facilitated Chickasaw or Chickasaw and Chickasaw slaveholders' acquisition of slaves, some of whom were imported not from Africa but from other point in the Americas. Let's jump. Page 29. 10,000s of enslaved people were brought into Mississippi from across the southern state, and they entered extensive journey over land and on riverboats before landing in Chickasaw or Chickasaw towns. Here we go. So we got the historical evidence for your Indians that you trying to be some of y'all. But you're not. That they had slaves.
Between 1705 and 1805, there are at least 900 documented slave ships that begin in Rhode Island and eventually end from West Africa through the West Indies and back to Rhode Island.
It was called the Triangle Trade.
They had rum distilleries in Bristol. They would take rum primarily, as well as other commodities, to the coast of West Africa to trade for men, women, and children, who were then brought back to be sold at auction, either in the Caribbean, and primarily that was in Cuba, or in the American South, in ports like Charleston, South Carolina.
The slave trade became a backbone of the American economy.
All of this was tremendously important in building the economy of the North and what became the United States. In the colonial era, the slave trade and the provisioning trade to slave plantations in the West Indies were a key part of what allowed the British colonies to prosper and eventually to rebel against Great Britain and become an independent nation.
At the time of his death in 1837, James DeWolf was the second richest man in America. After Rhode Island outlawed shipping slaves to North America in 1787, his nephew continued the slave trade illegally.
Alright, so let's get some more historical evidence. African slavery in Latin America and the Caribbean, page 46. Check this out, y'all. The decline in the utility of Indian slave labor combined with the increasing wealth of the Brazilian planters led to the beginning of mass importations of African slave labor in 1570. Let's jump down right here. With each succeeding decade, the percentage of African enslaved population increased. By the 1600s, probably just under half of all slaves were now Africans, with some 50,000 having arrived in the colony up to that time. In the next 2 decades, the Indian slave progressively disappeared from the sugar field, and by 1620s, most sugar estates were all black. So we have historical evidence that Indians are not Israelite. And also we have historical evidence that the so-called Negros being scattered to Brazil, which is not the end of the earth. Not finished. More historical evidence. The slave trade by Hugh Thomas. Page 144. Let me read. In the first quarter of the 17th century, the total numbers of slaves exported from Africa probably approached 200,000, of which about 100,000 went to Brazil, over 75,000 to Spanish America, and 500,000 to Sao Tome, which is in Africa, but no story. Only about few hundreds to Europe. Okay.
Victims of the transatlantic slave trade and their descendants have shaped Brazil's economy, politics, spirituality, art, culture, and sports. An African soul permeates the very essence of contemporary Brazil. Back in the 16th century, one of the most appalling tragedies in humanity took place: the transatlantic slave trade. Not only because of its abhorrent barbarism, but also in terms of its magnitude, organized nature, and mainly the negation of the heart of its victims. Millions of men, women, and children lost their lives and endured immense suffering during the voyage across the Atlantic and upon their arrival in the Caribbean and the Americas.
Ao todo, cerca de 10 milhões de pessoas foram raptadas da África durante toda a escravidão colonial.
Professor Eliu Santos is president of the Foundation for Racial Equality.
40% dessas pessoas vieram para o Brasil.
That's more than 4 million slaves. When they arrived in Salvador de Bahia, they were led to Pelourinho Square.
Pelourinho é o lugar onde as pessoas eram vendidas e também eram torturadas.
Merchants and plantation owners placed bets at public auctions. Helpless slaves were awarded to the highest bidder. Many were bought to work under extreme conditions on sugar plantations. a commodity that changed international trade during colonialism and boosted Brazil's economy.
And for the third part, we'll be concentrating on Asia, which is also one extremity of the earth. Yeah? And we're talking about India. We'll have a look on them parts of India. Right there. Yeah? The coastal part of India.
Siddhi, a descendant of the Bantu people from Southeast Africa. He believes his ancestors originally came from Uganda. Now he lives in a small village called Jambur with his mother and grandmother. The village is surrounded by the forests of Gir, the last bastion of the world's 500 remaining Asiatic lions. Centuries ago, Africans from Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia sailed to the Indian subcontinent as merchants, while others were brought as slaves. The Siddhis say they were elite slaves, serving the ruling class only. They appealed to India's Nawabs or Muslim rulers and the Mughals, a Muslim imperial power in the early 16th century, because of their loyalty and military skills. The United Nations recently launched an exhibit to raise awareness of the Siddhis' rise to positions of power through their military status. They created princely Siddhi states and served as kings themselves, a fact little known around the world.
Do they teach here for Siddhis community anything about Africa at all, or how much you guys know about Africa?
Actually, our grand ancestors used to tell Africa is our motherland, but we never went to Africa. But by the stories we know about Africa, because they used to tell, and our grand ancestors, they don't want to recognize that sin when they came from Africa to India, that how they suffered. It's very bad. Sometimes my grandfather used to tell us a story, because the white people, they brought them as slaves, used to beat them, like they have struggled a lot, means lot. They don't want to remember about Africa, because that
The bad experience.
Bad experiences. When we ask them about Africa, they said it's quite. But they like very much about the culture, African culture, hitting the drums and all that songs. All the African cultures is to teach us. They're just teaching us how it is Africa by culture.
And for the fourth part, we're concentrating on the southeast of Africa, which is also an extremity in the end. And we'll be going to Madagascar. Yeah? Right there. Prove all things, we're gonna prove all things. So far, you must have asked yourself, why does the prophecy against the Israelites sounds a lot like what happened to black people? But let me prove it or confirm it. I should better say.
The sea for the last time on this voyage. Next stop, Nosy Bay. Over the past few decades, Nosy Bay has become one of the most popular tourist sites of the Indian Ocean. Nevertheless, Elville has managed to keep its authentic Malgache character, even though the French influence here dates back to the mid-19th century, about 50 years earlier than the rest of Madagascar. Threatened by the Merina tribes from the highlands, the Sakalava sovereigns requested military support from the French. Thus, in 1841, the Sakalava queen Tsiomeko granted the island of Nosy Bay to Admiral de L, who was governor of Ile Bourbon, now Reunion Island, in exchange for his protection. When the French arrived here in Nosy Bay, there were already prosperous Indian and Arab merchants doing good business in this bay, which is one of the best sheltered on the island. They had set up a trading post called Ambanoro Marodoka, which means literally the place of many shops. Not far from the ruins of the old trading post lives a community of Sakalava. Maulide is 89 years old. He spent his life sailing the Indian Ocean. Now he's come back to live out his old age here in Ambanoro.
I started sailing on Indian boats. Twice to Mombasa, twice to the Seychelles, and I did the whole coast of Africa as deckhand, cook. My grandfather and grandmother were pure African. Arab slave traders sold them here to the Indians. My grandfather and grandmother were born in Africa. They were abducted by the Arabs to be sold here.
Like every day, while the men are out fishing, the village women get together to chat and do their makeup, a ritual that probably goes back to their African ancestors.
The Sakalava and the Africans lived up in the hills, way up there. And down here, you had the Arabs and the Indians.
All right, so I have a little beef right there. Yeah, a little beef that I need to end right now, and I will. So from Babylon to Timbuktu, so some of you self-hating Negroes, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time understand this. We're going to the end, the conclusion. Here we read in page 132. Interesting. These facts are of peculiar significance when the presence of Judaism among the American Negroes is to be considered. This means that they don't know. Hundreds of thousands of slaves were brought to America from this Western Africa during the days of the traffic, beginning nearly 400 years ago. How much more of Judaism survived among the West African Negroes? What? Hold up. Let's do it again. How much more of Judaism survived among West African Negroes? Hold up. I thought these people sold into slavery. How can they have Judaism? Let's continue. In that earlier time, as persecuted communities, they were rather more endangered than other Negroes of being raided by war parties and sold as slaves. Yeah? So, y'all like to read this book and subtract whatever y'all wanna. By this time, he's telling you that there is Negroes in West Africa, which is actually normal anyway, because the word Negro means African. And he's saying that the people of the diaspora, we don't know. But Judaism, of the trace of being a Hebrew, survived in West Africa. How about that? And more than that, page 130 says, the Jews among the Ashanti, and he gives you information among the Ashantis of the Gold Coast of Ghana, are found Jews who observe many Hebrews' costumes. They don't fight on Saturday, but they rest and give you more. Yeah? Trump down. The black Jews of Dahomey. Dr. Kreppel reported in 1926, so that's way after the slave trade. Yeah? That there exists a large Hebrew community of black Jews in the interior of Dahomey, West Africa. Yeah? Right there, page 131, next to it, Yoruba Jews of Nigeria. Can go on and on and on and on and on. So y'all using this book, but this guy is contradicting all the nonsense that y'all coming up with. And let me show you something. Okay, let's go back to Western African History by Robert O. Collins. Yeah? Let's read that. Page 145. In the Gold Coast, to the east, leave the Ashanti. We just read that. Yeah? In the book of Babylon from Babylon to Timbuktu. Yeah? And Fante, who are Akan speaking, and the less numerous Ga and Ewe of the coast, who are not Benin, formerly Dahomey. We read about Dahomey as well, yeah? Is dominated by the Faun and the Eba. And in the forest zone of Nigeria live the powerful Yoruba in the west and the Igbo. And in the east, both surrounded by closer, smaller groups. On the switch page. Yeah? Page 147. Let's read. Like the rulers, Ashanti and Gold Coast, the Yoruba claim a northern origin. Interesting. Though the evidence for this still consists mostly of myth, legend, and selected cultural. Excuse me. Trying to get y'all. Similarities to the inhabitants of the Sudan and Nile Valley. Second influence that shaped the Forest Kingdom was the arrival of the Europeans and the development of the slave trade. Many authors have attributed the rising growth in power of the state to the acquisition of European firearms in return for slaves. So you read that all of them people were Hebrews, and then you read right here that they basically sold each other for firearms and power. That's it. So this is literally the slave trade, the reality. Yeah? And nothing wrong with the fact that we traded each other. Now, if you want to say, no, it's not true, whatever, then you're lying. So I don't know why you're using from Babylon to Timbuktu then. It is contradicting your beliefs. Reality is reality. History is history. Here we go. So why is it a bigger deal to know about these prophecies and all this stuff? Why does it matter that the Israelites or black people are being sent to the fourth corner of the earth? Because it means that the prophecies are real. And every prophecy against the Israelites are real. The prophecy against the people that have done wrong to the Israelites are also real. Ultimately. Yeah? And this is the reason why they don't want you to know the truth. Because if you find the truth and you walk according to the truth, then your God, your Yahuah, will defend you. But if you don't, then you're just going to get swallowed up like the rest of the people. Yeah? And that's why they create all this distraction, the so-called hip-hop and all that stuff, although hip-hop is basically expressing ourselves. What they're promoting now is different. But anyway, yeah, and all of this other stuff that, you know, that we are all into it now. Yeah, Christianity, these false religions, Islam and all of that nonsense. Yeah, all of that distraction for you to not go read the script. Yeah, and understand that it's about you. Yeah, because there's some scary prophecies against the people that have done wrong to the Israelites, even though this was the Most High's will and the Most High's punishment. But it's a double punishment for the people that are used to punish us. Let's check this out. YAH Yahuah, chapter 49, verse 22 to 27. Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 22 to 27. Yeah? Thus saith Yahuah, behold, I'll lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set my standards to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queen thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of your feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Yeah, so this is why they don't want you to know. Every time they're trying to gaslight us. Yeah, no, you're not the Israelite. And all that stuff. No, don't worry, just believe in Jesus. Yeah, nah, we don't want that. Yeah, first of all, we believe in Yahusha, not Jesus. But anyway, 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captives delivered? Yeah, so basically it's saying they when a mighty warrior, yeah, captured somebody. Can someone save that person from a more mighty warrior? Yeah, that's basically what it's saying. Continue verse 25. But this saith Yahuwah, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with you, and I will save thy children. See, this is why they don't want you to know that you, the people that have been scattered, you, the people of God, you, the children of the Most High, all his people. Yeah, this is why. There's nothing else. Verse 26 now. And I will feed them that will press thee with their own flesh. Yeah, that's gross. Anyway, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine, and all flesh shall know that I, Yahuwah, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Yeah, this is why they don't want you to know that. That's why they're going to make sure that, no, you're not going to know about that. Yeah, they're going to do everything online to debunk us. They're going to create these false camps, and they're going to come up with false facts. I want you to be focused on what people be the Edomite and all that crap. And not be focused on the reality and the historicity and the validity of the scripts. History don't lie. That's why I put out all of their books. I can do that all day. I can put books about slave trade and Deuteronomy 28 next to each other and quote both back and forth, and you'll see they basically simultaneously quoting each other. Yeah? You can do that all day. I've done the experiment. That's why I'm doing these videos. I don't believe anymore. I just know now. Yeah? And it's time for you to know that it is the truth. Let's keep it moving. We're on Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 to 38. Yeah? Let's read. As I live, saith Yahuwah Yahuwah, surely with a mighty hand, and we will stretch our arm, and with fury pour out, I will rule over you. So he's talking about the Israelites. Yeah? He's going to rule over them anyway. Yeah? Verse 34 now. I'll bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries where ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. So that's going to be some crazy stuff happening the day that the Most High come to deliver his people. Yeah? Because they're everywhere. And they're not everybody, but they're a certain group of people. As I demonstrated it. Yeah? With this documentary. We're the only one that fit this description, y'all. I don't care what you're telling me. Only black people have been scattered, yeah, to almost all parts of the earth. That's a fact. So now if my scripture says that the Israelites will be scattered from one end to the other, yeah, one end of the earth to the other, and in history shows me that my people have been scattered from one end of the earth into the other, what should I believe? Since we're saying that we have faith and we believe in the scriptures. But some of y'all, you're too stuck up in racism and you just don't want black people to be the Israelites. It's not even a matter of fact that it's the truth or not. It's just because you don't want that. But spiritually you understand, because these things are going to happen. That's why you don't want us to be the Israelites. Because then you have a big price to pay. Because these people that you mistreat, these people that you hated, you called them nappy-headed Negros, monkeys and all that stuff. They're the people of the Most High. And that is scary to you. I know. Let's keep it moving. Yeah? And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people. And there I will plead with you face to face. So once again, like after Mount Sinai, this is going to happen again. Covenant now. New covenant. Yeah? 36. Like as I pleaded with your father in the wilderness of the land of Mizraim, so I will plead with you, saith Yahuah Yahuah. Yeah? Continue. Verse 37. I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bound of the covenant. One more time to make sure that this time, yeah, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on point. Yeah, it's time to repent, y'all. I know we're messing up, but after everything I've showed, you must understand that's reality. So if the judgment is passed, yeah, don't be thinking that it's gonna be okay after, because there's more judgment coming. If there's judgment for other people of the Most High, then how much more for the other ones? Yeah. 38 now. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the countries where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharal. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Yeah, so he's saying even among us, the people that don't care, them sellouts, Jay-Z and all that, yeah, them Freemason, Illuminati nonsense people and all that, all about other people that are stuck up in these other nonsense, yeah, they gonna get messed up too. Or those of us that don't want to listen to the Most High, but we talk about, yeah, we Israelites and all that stuff, yeah, they're gonna get sucked up too. Understand? So it's time to wake up. Yeah, time to wake up. Let's keep it moving. We want Jeremiah chapter 46 verse 28. Yahuah chapter 46 verse 28. Fear thou not, O Jacob, my servant, saith Yahuwah, for I am with you, for I will make a full end. So he's saying it's gonna go down. I will make a full end of all the nations whither I have driven you, but I will not make a full end of you, but correct you in measure, yet I will not leave thee wholly unpunished. That's what I was saying. It's not going to be a whole kumbaya thing, and it's going to be only black people and all that stuff. Nah. Yeah, they are messed up regardless their color or whatever. They're going to get messed up too. If you continue to mess up, then you're going to get what you want. Yeah? And that's only right. The Most High is just. So if I continue to mess up me myself, I'm done when the Most High comes. Yeah? If I'm righteous, then I'll be saved, like the other people and everybody. Yeah? And when I say everybody, I say everybody that the Most High deemed righteous. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about all nations. Yes, I said it. Up to you haters, Hebrews, yeah? Keep your thing for yourself. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Yasharal, and gather together the dispersed of Yahudah from the four corners of the earth. So everything I was showing, I was trying to show you that that's Yahudah right there. Yeah? You don't have Benjamin and Levi next to each other in the Caribbean. No, that's not true. Yeah? All Yahudah is being scattered to the four corners of the earth. Yeah? And I can argue that there were some people of the other 10 tribes with them sometimes, but the bulk was Yahudah for the prophecy to be true. That right there that we're reading. Yeah? Because check this out. You got where the 10 lost tribes are. Even in the Old Testament they tell you, look, Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, or should I say Cush, because Ethiopia is just a small part. We're talking about Cush, which is now Sudan, Ethiopia, and some part of Eritrea. They're way bigger than. Yeah? From beyond the rivers of Cush, and some scholars say that the rivers of Cush is basically the Nile River. Yeah? So from beyond the rivers of Cush, my suppliant, even the daughters of my dispersed shall bring my offering. So he's saying there's a people that are dispersed. Yeah? The daughters of dispersed, meaning the Israelite, that are going to come from behind the rivers of Cush. Yeah? So how come y'all say there's no Hebrews in Africa? Your so-called Hebrew Israelites out there. You make no sense. Your scripture says that at the end time prophecy, you got a people coming from beyond the Nile River. Literally. Yeah? Verse 11 now. See Zephaniah chapter 3. And in that day shall thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, where thou hast transgressed against me. So who has transgressed against the Most High? That's the Israelite. Talking about right now. Yeah? For I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountains. So the same thing again and again. We're going to bring all of y'all together, but the ones that messed up, we're going to get rid of them. This is what the Most High says. Over and over again. So you know that's the Israel we're talking about. Yeah? So, once again, confirmation. Yeah? We got Judah at the four corners of the earth, and we got the bulk of the 10 lost tribes in Africa. End of the story. You're not happy with that? I don't care. I did the full documentary confirming, yeah? Or for those who like them small words, proving all that. You can go into the link below, and I will leave it there. Full documentary with historical evidence and all that stuff. Yeah? Let's keep it moving. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 3 through 7. For I am Yahuah Yahuah, the Holy One of Yasharal, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia or Cush, and Sheba for thee. So he's telling you what he did before. Yeah, when he got rid of them people for you. Yeah? Verse 4. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore, I will give men for you, and people for thy life. So literally, he's going to slaughter people for you. That's what it is. Yeah? The Most High is not changing, y'all. It's not because Yahushua came in the scene that that's going to change. This is not changing. Yeah? And we're reading stuff that haven't happened yet based in the so-called Old Testament. Verse 5. Fear not, for I am with you, and I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. Yeah? One more time. Bring thy seed from the east and gather it from the west. Everything that I showed y'all. In the west, in the north, in the south, in the east, where we've been scattered. So I have to complicate it for people to understand that it's only about us. Y'all trying to mix up everybody in it. Trying to add up these Latinos and all that nonsense. The Papua New Guinea people, and then, oh no, we got some Indians, and oh no, we got some Europeans, and oh no, some people. Nah, they ain't been scattered like us. You're not understanding? And I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. That's what's happening, y'all. That is what's happening, and that's what's going to happen. Verse 7. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yet I have made him. And so confirmation that what's going to happen. This is the reason why they don't want you to know. Now, to confirm everything I showed y'all, people that have been sold to slavery and all that stuff, let's go to Joel. Yeah? And you're going to catch this up now and understand properly. Yeah? So Joel chapter 3, you on verse 1 through 3. For behold, in those days, and in that time, so when you're talking like that, you're talking about the end time prophecy. Let's continue. When I shall bring again the captivity of Yehudah and Jerusalem. So he's saying again at the end that Judah is captive. The only people that are captive nowadays and still with the captors is us, black people. Anyway, verse 2. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Yasharal, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. This is literally what happened to black people. If you go on internet when they read that, yeah, these so-called Christians and all that stuff, they talk about, oh no, some near future the Jewish people are going to be captured by some next people or whatever. Nonsense. That's already happened. It's us. Yeah, we're the only one that fit the description. Everybody sold us. And we even helped them too. How about that? Yeah? Now, they're going to have to give accounts to the Most High for that. They're here talking about, oh, the most inhuman things. Yes, it was the most inhuman thing, and they're going to pay for it. This is what there needs to be a judgment day. As much as it needs to be a judgment day for killers and rapists and people that leave the life of sin, then that's going to be a judgment day for the people that have done wrong to the people of the Most High. Because you deceived yourselves to do the wrong, even though the Most High put the Spirit on you to judge us. Yeah? Verse 3 now. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given both for an harlot, and sold girls for wine, that they may drink. Yeah? Side notes. If you look at history, yeah, because if you continue to read, you're going to hear about Tyre, Zidon, and all that stuff. Yeah? Tyre, Zidon already been destroyed by the Greeks. Yeah? But that's another thing for another time. Anyway, yeah? You're going to jump to verse 12 now. So Joel chapter 3 verse 12 now. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for they will sit. So there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. So conclusion now. Let's finish this right now. This is why they don't want you to know. Yeah? The key isn't the prophecy in the history. Check your history, y'all. Those of y'all that made this far, you must understand. Whoever you are, you orange, you blue, I don't care. But you must understand if you made it this far. Yeah? Especially you Negros. You must understand now. You have a clear understanding of the historicity of you being the Israelite. And even for the other ones that want to join on board that are not Israel. Yeah? Because righteousness is not only Israel. Anybody have a part of it. Yahuwah decides, not man. Yeah? So conclusion, the so-called Negroes are the Israelites because they're the only one that fit the description according to the prophecies and history. We got a whole bunch of hypocrites talking about they believe in the scriptures, but we point that to them. No, it's not possible. Oh, really? Why? Because you know the prophecy against the Gentiles. And if we're the people, then you're gonna pay because you're still oppressing us up to this day. Up to this day. Yeah? So fear not, Jacob. Fear not. For Yahuwah is with us. And Yahushua Hamashiach is with us. And I hope this lesson has been a blessing for all of y'all. Please turn from your wicked ways. All of us. Me counted. Because these prophecies are scary, y'all. Reason why they want to do everything for you to not know the truth. Have a nice day and shalom.